Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a tutorial on this eye look right here, and I'm absolutely loving it. And before we get into all of that, I want to welcome you guys. If this is your first time here, welcome to the video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren Jade. I'm 57. I have mature, crepey, wrinkly skin with hooded eyes that are slightly downturned. So I'm always looking for ways that I can rock this hooded eye situation and pass my tips and tricks on to you guys. And I know we all have different eye shapes and there's different levels of hoodedness, but I'm hoping you guys can tweak some of these things and pick up a few tips and tricks so you guys can rock your hooded eyes if that's what you have, because that is what I have and this is what I'm working with. So all of my tutorials center around my hooded eye situation and dealing with the mature, crepey, wrinkly skin. It is what it is. All right. So with that said, I would love to have you guys join me. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it. That way YouTube will notify you each and every time I upload. And now with that said, let's get into what this tutorial is on. So this is the eye look that I created, and I used the 35 OMG palette from Crown Brush. Palette looks like this. It is absolutely stunning, and yes, it is a Jaclyn Hill dupe, but you've got this beautiful holographic in here. It's just beautiful. And then you have a mirror, absolutely stunning palette, matte, blended out like a dream. It was an effortless blend all the way through. These shimmers here have that metal foil effect. I did not even have to wet my brush or use a mixing medium whatsoever for this. Now I know everybody knows what the Jaclyn Hill palette looks like, but this is it right here. And this is my beat up one, but this is the one that was close by. So this is my on the daily one. So, so I've got it here, but I do have another one that is a little bit more presentable and looks better, but this is the one close by. So, all right. So if you guys want to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let's get right into this tutorial. All right, I'm super excited because for my next video, I'm going to be testing out the Copycat Beauty. They are not new. I got the full, this is the Marc Jacobs dupe. I got the full eye brush set here, and I do have a few of Marc Jacobs brushes, so I'm going to be kind of comparing them. And then the palette that I got is this one, which is the Anastasia, the ABH Soft Glam dupe. So I'm not going to be doing a side-by-side comparison because I already tried that and I know how that goes. So I'm just going to be doing this palette here, and I'm going to be testing out these brushes, and that's probably going to be my next video. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to use my MAC paint pot here in soft ochre, and then I'm going to set this primer P. Louise style with one of the shadows in the palette. And I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin, however you want to say it. I like to say Aucoin. Kevyn Aucoin. This is a dual concealer brush. It's got a flat, dense little brush on one side, and it's got a little round, fluffy brush on the other. Be using the, it is hot over here, by the way, guys. I don't know where you guys live, but it's still, we're still in the mid 90s over here, so a lot of heat right now. So I'm ready for some cooler fall weather so I can wear my fall clothes. You guys know how much I love that. All right, so I've got the crown brush. I got the full eye set, and it's not the full, I mean, because they have more eye brushes than these 5, obviously, but these are kind of like the major ones that you would use to create an eye look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the Jaclyn Hill palette. Looks like this. I have another one. I actually had a mirror over here, but it was too heavy, so I took it off. So I actually have another one that's not quite as beat up as this one, but this one was handy, so I thought I would just show you guys. But I know everybody knows what that looks like. And this is the Crown brush. Oh my, OMG 35. I mean, look at that packaging. Stunning holographic, and you got a mirror. Why, oh why, Miss Hill, would you not have put a mirror in your palette? It literally would have cost you 10 cents if that. Some things you just cannot understand. All right, I am going to go into this shade right here, which is the Silk Cream shade, and I'm going to use the Crown Brush C512, which is a really fat shader brush, and I'm just going to set my base P. Louise style as per usual. I'm just going to pat this on kind of on my lid area in my inner socket, just kind of on my socket bone, really. Just kind of where I'm planning to place my shadows. such a nice skin tone friendly shade, so it works really well for this purpose. Bye-bye to that setting my base with the translucent powder as per the cookie cutter one size fits all YouTube tutorial. And I've said hello to the P. Louise style of setting my base. And yes, I have the P. Louise primer right here, which I absolutely love. So we're gonna using this Bobbi Brown Bone shade now, and I'm just going to dust some right kind of underneath the brow area, and I'm just going to kind of right out here and just kind of catch the edges of this shade right here and just have that there. That'll blend right into the transition shade. All right, I'm super excited to use my Ricky Loves Ricky Colorful right here, and I've got a little mini hula in here, and these shades are just from the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and then these are some shades from my Biba palette because I've got two Bibas, so I put some in here, and then these are just a couple. This is a MAC shadow, and I think this is Makeup Geek. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Hula bronzer as always. Since I put it in here, I'm anxious to kind of try and play with my little colorful. Normally I would grab my Cheek Leader palette, so I'm just going to dust this right. I'm going to start kind of in the middle here so I can kind of define that inner socket and just put this basically right on my socket bone. And I'm going to kind of dust a little bit out here. My main purpose is just to kind of do the little inner corner shading, kind of brush it up to the brow and connect it to the nose contour. That's pretty much what I like to do with my bronzer. I like to just kind of bronze the crease up. I'm going to dust this out here and just kind of bring this in and then connect it down into the nose contour. All right, I may have said that this little fat shader was a C512. It's not. It's the 507. This is the 512, C512. This is kind of similar to, I guess, the MAC 224, but it's just not quite as fluffy, and it's just a little bit more pointed, but it's still a tapered, fluffy blending brush, which allows you to really kind of precisely place the color and still blend it out. So I do love this brush. All right, so the first shade I'm going to go into now from this palette here is the Creamsicle shade right here. I'm going to start this one on the outer corner here and brush that up and out and then bring this in. I'm not going to take this as far in as I did with the bronzer. That bronzer is like my inner corner shading that I really love. All right, next up I'm grabbing the C511 brush. This is very similar to the M433 from Morphe or the Sigma E25 or the MAC 217. It's the same type of brush. I love this brush. I have several of these. I love this one. All right, I'm going to take the shade Pukey now on the 511. And with this, I'm going to take this right, my inner socket right here. My outer socket right here, I'm starting. And then I'm going to slowly work that inward. I'm going to put a little bit of this onto my lid up here, down here on my outer lid, just like a hair. Almost as if I were kind of doing a little outer V moment there. I'm also taking this up towards the brow and just kind of blending that a little bit into the inner socket. Not much, just a hair. And then I'm going to go back to the C512 and just kind of blend. I am kind of creating a little bit of a wing shape with my shadow here by just kind of flicking this upwards kind of out here, because I'm going to do that with my wing, and I'm really kind of enjoying the new eyebrow situation. I really feel like that was the one thing that was kind of missing in my eyeshadow game, and I really felt like I needed that. And I don't know, you know, it's just the brows are just, you know, they just frame the face. I remember back in the 90s and all through the 2000s, before there were all these quote brow products on the market, you know, I just kind of filled in my sparse areas with Bobbi Brown taupe. I mean, for real, that's like what we did back then. Well, it's what I did back then. But yeah, I'm just kind of pushing this kind of up towards the, kind of like the tail end of the brow, just kind of creating a little bit of a wing shape here. Yeah, I just really felt like, you know, this was like the one thing that I was kind of missing. I just felt like I really needed this brow area just to kind of work and help with that alignment situation. So yeah, it's really made a big difference. Kind of just taken my eyeshadow game to a whole new level. It's just, I don't know, it was just kind of the inspo that I really needed. So I'm really loving the brow situation going on. And as soon as I get it all put together, I am going to do a tutorial. I did try some new brow products, but I didn't really like the color, so now we're kind of back to the drawing board, and as soon as I get it all worked out, I'll have a brow tutorial for you guys. All right, I'm going to grab this brush now. This is the C510, and I'm going to go into, I believe this is Hunt's, this one right here. It's kind of reddish shade, and I'm going to grab, you know what, I am just going to use my Ricky Loves Ricky colorful here. All right, I'm going to start this on the outer corner here, almost as if I were doing kind of like the outer V, and I'm going to just build this up slowly. So I'm going to kind of start out here, like in this outer V section right here, and just kind of take a little bit up into the upper crease, just kind of, so I'm kind of doing that little sideways V. I'm taking it kind of downwards at an angle here, and then I'm kind of going up into the upper section here, and then I'm kind of just kind of making it in a little kind of a V. So if you guys watched my video that I did the other day where I showed my sleigh station, and I kind of talked about how impressed I was with these shadows, and just how, I mean, the mattes is just such a smooth, effortless blend. I'm getting that really nice gradient effect. They just blend so nicely, and you guys know I love the brushes. And yeah, I mean, I had no fallout at all with any of these shadows. And the shimmers, you guys will see, have that metal foil effect. Just a super nice, you know, gradient blend going on here. I mean, super easy. I can't say enough about this palette. Oh, and the fact that it has a mirror. Oh, all right. I'm going to take now this little tiny brush. This one here is the C528, which is very similar to the M507. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of this Hunt's, and I'm just going to concentrate this right as if like I were doing a fake crease. You guys always see me put in my fake crease, so it's the same kind of concept. I'm just going to kind of darken it like right above my natural crease, a few millimeters. So, and I'm just going to take it in a little bit and just kind of lightly kind of define this inner socket like right there. Wow, I really feel like this is just kind of winged out today. It just kind of happened that way today. Just a little extra winged out here. All right, I'm going to use the Morphe flat definer brush. It's the M432, and I'm going to go into the shade Chip and Jax, which are these two right here. And I'm going to do my normal smudgy little smoky baby wing. I'm going to, you guys have seen me do this a million times by now. And I'm going to just kind of stamp along the, I'm putting the shade, I think it's Chips, that's this darker brown one, and then Jax is like the kind of the reddish maroonish one. So I'm putting that brownish one kind of at the lower part of the lash line. I'm just kind of stamping and kind of wiggling between the lashes. That really just adds some, you know, depth and dimension into the lashes. I've done so many looks with this Jaclyn Hill palette. I just love it. And I'm just going to smoke that Jax just kind of right on top of it. And I'm just kind of starting in the middle, really, of the eye. And I'm just going to take this kind of out and pull it out a little bit past where my natural crease is. And I'm just putting a really thin line on the inner corner. Because my eyes are slightly downturned, I keep them a little bit thicker on the outer corner, and that just kind of creates the illusion that they're not so downturned, but this inner corner is a very, very thin. And what I like to do sometimes, just to kind of make sure that, all right, I need to grab this mirror. So just to kind of make sure that I have the wing exactly kind of where I want it, what I will do is I kind of create this almost like a straight across kind of a line that obviously is going to be thicker as you get towards the back. And then I pull that out to elongate and kind of give me that cat eye effect. I pull it out to kind of where my natural crease is, maybe just like a hair millimeter to pass, not much. And then I usually just take the end and just kind of bring it down and just kind of connect it. It almost kind of connects with the lower lash line smoke. So basically, if you were to continue on from your lower lash line, it would kind of, this line would kind of go right on up and meet the tail end of the brow. And that's kind of where you want that wing to kind of be in that same alignment, as if it would be going kind of up. That way you kind of get this lifted eye effect, but you also get this elongated cat eye effect. So I'm just going to pull this out, and then I'm just going to stamp and kind of connect it. I know I've talked about this before. I used to always just kind of stamp kind of out here and then kind of draw the line in, and now I kind of just do my little wing, and then from the tip of where the wing kind of curves up just a little bit, right from that point I draw the line down, so it's kind of going up and down. And I feel like that just gives me more of like a foolproof wing, if you will, because my eyes are downturned and they're not even on both sides. I don't even think my face is even on both sides, much less my eyes. But yeah, so when I would kind of just draw this line up, you know, I always had to make sure that that line was exactly even. So by going up like this and doing the wing first and then drawing that line downward, I just feel like it's just so much easier for me in terms of knowing that I got that alignment. And I always check, you know, I always go back in and follow that lower lash line as if it were kind of going straight up, and then taking that wing as if it would go up towards the brow. I hope that makes sense, you guys. I know you guys have seen me do this a million times, so hopefully it makes sense. The other thing that you can do just to check to make sure that, you know, you have that alignment with that lower lash line going up is just kind of put your little brush right at the edge of the lower lash line and just kind of follow that on up as if it were coming straight out and it was just, you know, one line continuing on up. And that way you know that you're kind of getting that alignment. All right, now I'm going to move on to the inner corner here. I'm going to grab, all right, I need my, all right, I'm just going to use this. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Dual Concealer Brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of, I think this one's called Sissy, this one here, and then one of these is in Light and Beam. It's hard to remember all these Jaclyn Hill names by heart, but I'm going to put this Pinky Rose shade kind of on the outside of the lid. And then I'm going to take this other shade and I'm going to put that one in the center through the end here. And then I'm going to use that really bright one on the inner corner and on upwards. And you can see that I didn't wet my brush, and you can see that I got this nice metal foil effect. I'm telling you, this palette is the bomb. The bomb. I don't want to say that it's replacing my Jaclyn Hill palette for like on the daily go-to, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'm trying to decide if I should do the false eyelashes. I really don't like to do those in every single video. You guys know how I feel about false eyelashes, and I hate mascara even worse, so I'm not going to be doing that. But I'm going to take a little bit of this shade, the Abyss. This is the black shade, and I'm just going to take this and just kind of stamp this right at the root of the lashes. So I kind of have that gradient, that black to the brown to that kind of maroonish color, kind of that gradient going up. And I'm just not sure if I want to do these falsies or not on this or not. I don't know. A little bit of this faint shade here and just kind of put that on the inner corner, and then I just kind of like wiggled like where I had that little pink shade, so it just kind of is like a gradient fade into this lighter shade. Just kind of wiggle back and forth. All right, this is the shade right here. This, pop on a pair of these false eyelashes, which, yeah, eventually I'm going to get some really nice ones. I just literally got these cheap ones on Amazon, and I know I showed you guys before, I think in my last video where I kind of talked about them, just because of the fact that like I don't wear them. So I'm sure someday I'll want to get some of the velour lashes or some of the nice Lily ones. I'm not sure. I don't know. I just throw these on for right now, but yeah, so this is the final look. And to touch up my face, I use the Sephora Pro. This is the shade Medium palette, which looks like this. I can't say enough about this either, because this is absolutely stunning. And I got this, I picked this up on the last Rouge event, I think. So I got it for like, I think it was like 20% off, I think. All right, I've got my fan here and my favorite setting spray, and I'm going to spray the face. Woo! my gosh, that always feels absolutely amazing. All right, guys, that is it. That completes the look. These false eyelashes always drive me crazy. All right, guys. Mwah! Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.